like relationship, business, finances, and many more. Live streaming into the whole continent with Ali.
Can you also, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking your time tonight to come and join the show. Welcome. This is Go Youth Broadcast, and I thank everyone for coming and joining the show. I know that we have our brother here joining us from Kenya, Opokoponto. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining us. Tonight, topic that will be digesting the motion tonight. We have our brother here by the name of Sipo. Sipo Lishaba will be assisting us to digest the motion that we have tonight on the table. Tonight motion, I think it's one of the motion that, a lot of people, you find that they're swimming within the same pool of the motion, but they're not aware. Tonight motion that we'll be trying to analyze with our brothers and sisters here in the house is that what are the mistakes that we are actually doing between the age of 23 and 35? And how will some of those mistakes actually affect us, badly in the future? I am not alone here. I have Mr. Lishawa who will be actually trying to, to go in detail about this motion so that we can understand. Because I saw you, Mr. Lishawa, you're the one who came with the motion actually on your Facebook page. I was very worried that, okay, I think this guy might be having something to share about this motion. Firstly, can you please, my brother, introduce yourself to the house so that they can know who's speaking and where you're joining us from?
Hello? Yes. Okay. Yes. Excuse me. Keep it easy, man. Okay, yeah. Sir, thank you very much for the. Yeah. Thank you very much for the privilege. It's a privilege. To be given this chance. To share your minds. To share ideas with other people outside there. And I go by the name Sipole Shava, based in Limpopo. Yes, still port. You understand? So on this topic, of the mistakes and what about what the youth is going through. One thing about this topic is I've realized, man, that we are going through a lot of common problems as youth. You understand? Am I audible?
You're audible, sir. You're audible. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, you understand. Yeah, because I've realized that we are going through a lot of problems which are common, and then really, I'm scared. Like I foresee danger. I foresee a life that will be full of uncontent, like life with. I see. What's going on?
Yeah,
breaking. What's going on?
Yeah, but we can hear you, Mr. Leshawa. We can hear you loud and clear. Since you're still trying to sort your internet that side, Mr. Leshawa, let's go to Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank, very quickly, can you please introduce yourself? Then we can go back to Mr. Leshawa. Yeah, Mr. Leshawa, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You may proceed.
Yes. Yeah, as we are talking about the problems, the mistakes that we are encountering as from the age 23 and 35, between the age 23 and 25, we are having very common problems, man. And then it looks like most of the youth are not willing to compromise or maybe to sacrifice in order to secure their future. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is the problem that I've realized. Yes, there are so many mistakes, like you can name them. You understand? But then our future is endangered. Our behavior is not so good, but then it is full of enjoyment, whereas the future does not look good. You understand? And then some of these topics about some of these things they are unspeakable. You understand? You cannot speak about them because when you start the topic and then about the future and the age and the lifestyles and all that, and then you be sounding like a chronic critic, whereby it's like you are criticizing people and then teaching them how to live and all that. You understand? So it's a challenge. But then in reality, you can see, like everyone can foresee that no, our future is not good. A practical example, I can talk about the bunch of debts that as youth we are enjoying. You understand? We are having a lot of debts, but then the topic remains unspeakable. You understand? So it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm gonna come back to you, Honorable Leshaba, very quickly. Let's go to Honorable Frank. Honorable Frank, welcome to Go Youth Broadcast. May you please introduce yourself to the house so that those who are joining local and international they can know who's speaking. Honorable Frank.
Thank you, Mana Ali, for allowing me in your space. Sipho there, I would recognize Alena Brur. Nalanze of you, take a frank, get to learn a Malekane, but then currently, I'm a wheat bank. So, like, Eric not join and then hear what Mr. Sipho, as the main host of the space, has to say. Then I'll have a few comments as time goes on. We share the space together.
All right. No, thank you so much, my brother. Very quickly, I want to come back to you, Mr. Leshaba. You said there are common problems we as youth we are experiencing, or we might be, even within the same pool. Now, one thing that I want you, to ventilate for us, or try to appetize most of the people who are watching and listening. What are some of the common? What are some of the common, what are some of the common mistakes which we can say most of us we are doing those kinds of mistakes, and which will badly affect us in the next future or in future? What are some of those mistakes? You spoke about debts. In terms of that, I understand, and which I believe that if you're speaking about debt, most of us currently we are under pressure, whereby you find that people are wearing expensive clothes, people are driving expensive cars, people are living fancy life, and you find that you want to match your standard with them, which means you need to go to the bank and get money so that you cannot feel the pressure. Now, I want to get to the bottom of it. What are some of the common mistakes which we're seeing within our peers?
Okay. So I should be giving you another example of the common mistake that we're going through. And then one other mistake is to fear. We've got a fear, of walking alone, of navigating alone in this journey of life. I mean, I'm not against getting married at an early age or so. You understand? But then getting into marriage, in most cases, I've realized there are so many beautiful marriages of young people. Yes, it's good to get married. But then the problem sometimes, we are getting into relationships and marriage. Like now you can check on social media, there is this trend of Mjolo this, Mjolo that is hating us and all this. You understand? But then if you can check the background of these relationships that we engaged at, you understand? Okay, if you can check the background of Mjolo, it has there's a distraction. There's a distraction. So many destinies have been affected by these things. I mean, you can check from secondary school. There were those people who were brilliant and then focused, but because of this relationship, I mean, their lives, like their destinies, were cut. You understand? So it's one other challenge. You understand? Today, you get into you are still young. You are getting a job. After getting a job, the next thing you're doing is marrying, and then you're getting married, and then because of you afford. You understand? Marriage is got its own purpose, and then before understanding the purpose, someone find that no, I need to get married. You understand? And then there's life after that. Remember, you understand? So by that, I just realized, like, I'm not going to dwell on marriage, but then I want to emphasize this. People need to be fulfilled alone before getting into these things, before getting into marriages. You understand? Because of these relationships, in most cases, you understand, they hinder people. They hinder growth of one another. You understand? You get married, and then the next thing, you cannot grow alone. You understand? Then you feel like, no, I must leave this person so that I can grow, and then you understand those things. So those are one of the challenges.
Let me ask you a question. I want to understand something there. Are you saying that, okay, it's fine. I like the part that you made a disclaimer that you are not against people who are getting married while they're still young. That's good. I want to understand then, do you think getting married at the younger age, it does actually have a problem? And why?
Not.
And
Yeah.
what have you seen? What have you seen currently?
Sipo,
Yes,
can
man.
can I answer? Can I answer Alfius for you, please?
Yeah, please.
Mana Ali, like okay, sharp. As Sipo said, Dorna, he's not against the part of marriage, ne? But then one thing that we need to do, my friend, is that if like you are thinking or you are willing or you think you are ready to get married, my friend, let it not be through a loan on that one. Like you must have enough money before you can think of getting married. Because what's the point for you to go and then take a loan, then you get married, you make us happy as your guest, we drink, we eat, but then the next thing is that you took maybe 200,000 loan. Remember? And then after you are going to marry that lady, you entertain all those guests. Then 2 years or 3 years down the line, you are the one who is left to pay that loan. So, which means there is no growth in you, and then you find that your partner is not working. You are the only one who is working. You have kids again that they still need like they are your responsibility. They need a lot of things from you. So, my advice is that if ever you think that you want to get married, bro, let it be that you have money on that one, but don't go and take a loan. Have money for
Yes.
you to get married without taking a loan, because it doesn't help. Or you're going to take somewhere a loan 150K, then like this koloto. But you need to know that 150K you are going to pay double the amount depending how much you are paying through that loan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just have money, bro.
let me ask a question. There, you are making a correlation of what Honorable Sipo was saying, that
Uh-huh.
dads. Now it's the two things you're talking about: dads and marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Getting married at the younger age, and you're also speaking about dads.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I get that part. I get that part. Which means the two things that our peers they need to learn from. They don't have to take debts or take loans while they're still young. They don't have to get married while they're still young, because there are
Mm-hmm.
consequences behind that. I get that. We are not saying they should not get married, but there are
Mm-hmm.
consequences. I want us actually to unpack some of the consequences of getting married at a younger age, and some of the consequences of being inside debt at a younger age. I'll start with you, Honorable Sipo.
Okay. Now, the consequences, I think Frank has already emphasized. I mean, the thing about getting married and then without, like taking a loan, for an example, like Frank has said. I mean, a loan doesn't mean that you have money. You understand? Doesn't mean you have money. I mean, you can qualify for a loan, but then it's not your money. I mean, it will always stay outstanding. You understand?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then now, I would advise, maybe I would say, no, people must at least build a concrete financial foundation, I can say. You understand?
Foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, so that whatever they do is their money. You understand? So that you can enjoy your marriage. You understand? And then without
Yeah.
financial problems and all that. You understand? Because it will come with consequences. The consequences are so many. You understand? You find that you are marrying somebody who's used to a certain lifestyle, is from a different background, whereby poverty is not their thing. And then when you are bringing them into your house, and then you are the breadwinner now, because of these steps, you are in poverty. This person is not used to whatever that the poverty in the house. You understand? And then they are not ready even to compromise. Or you understand? And then they are gonna leave you. They are gonna leave you. They're gonna leave,
Mm,
obviously. You understand?
mm.
So it's like that. It's like that.
Okay. Now, I definitely understand that. Some are saying that it's very much important to get married at a younger age, because you never know what will happen. And remember, when a person decides that, he wants to get married, it's not something. It's not like you just see someone today and say you want to get married. It's because you have been into a mutual relationship with this person for some time, and now you feel
Yes.
like it's the right time for you to marry this person. I definitely understand that one. I want to ask this question: why most of the youth, they think that they're too young to achieve great things? What makes them to think that they're too young to achieve great things?
Okay, like what do you mean when like you are saying most of us youth, like we think maybe we are too young to achieve great things? Like what do you mean on that one?
In detail, I could say most of them, in order for them like to explore or to do things that can assist them financially or academically, or to start a company or do something, but
Mhm.
they just have that kind of a fear to say, I'm too young to start a company, I'm too young to go to university to do 1 2 3, I'm too young to do 1 2, I'm too young to start. You get my point? They keep on having
Okay,
an excuse to say that they're too young. I
you
want to
know,
know
you know,
what are some of the causes that makes them to think that they're too young.
one thing about that issue, ne? Sometimes it's not because of people they're afraid or they think they're too young, my friend. Like it's the proximity of where they are. Because some of the things like Emma, you need to do certain things, but then when you see or when you look around where you are, you don't have that kind of energy or motivation for you to carry that project you want to carry out. And then the other thing is that we are too much focused on entertainment. That's the other thing, it delays us again. But in essence, people they are not afraid to do those steps. They are just that there is too much distraction in these days that we are living at. There is too much distraction. Relationship
Okay.
that you are in, whoever the partner that you are with, you must always consider if that person is willing or he or she is driven as you are. Because if they are not, then they're going to delay you. They are not going to motivate you anyhow. And then the other thing is that, like, check the kind of people that you hang around with. What do they want in life? That's the first thing you have to ask yourself. Because how do you hang around with people that like they don't want anything or they are maybe let's say maybe their family background push up from wherever that they're coming from. Ne? Then when you are the one who's having that passion, or you want to do that company. But for the fact that person in the morning when they wake up, like Abashotiga next, everything's there inside the house. You are the one who wants to go wherever you want to go. But then because of the birds, that's why there is a saying, ringi, can I not saying, birds of the same feather flock together. You see that one? So
Yes.
let's start there. Let's start there first. The people that you hang around with, and then the partner that you want to be with. Let's start there. If you can fix that, identify these two factors, then my friend, you are sorted. You are not going to like struggle. Emma, right now, like I'm not gonna say like it's easy to be rich, ne? But there are a lot of information that was hidden before, but now it has come to life. We have like this thing of forex. Forex it's real, guys. And then this thing is easy etiquette. It's there. You can buy shares there. It doesn't matter how much money you have, but then don't use the money that like you're gonna need in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Use the money
Yeah.
that you know already. It's like just take 500 and say, this 500 maybe you gave it to one of your beaches somewhere there, or you drink alcohol with it. Forget that money.
It's
Put it in there.
investment.
Yeah, put it in
Investment.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, invest, put it in there, then forget about that money for a long period. I can guarantee you, you will see by the end of the year, you'll have something. But
All right,
then
my brother.
make
Very quickly, let's take a short break, and then after that, we'll get to the bottom of the other ones.
okay, sure.
You are listening to Go Youth Podcast with Ali SA. Greatest topics of the world like relationship, business, finances, and many more. Live streaming into the whole continent with Ali.
All right, thank you so much, guys. We're back from the break. I'm here with Honorable Sipho Lishava and Mr. Frank, trying to appetize those people who are listening and those who are watching. I hope they might be having the appetite also to collect the information that we're sharing from the show. You know, we spoke about getting married at a younger age. We spoke about taking loans, while we're still young. Mr. Sipho, what are other things which are common, which we're saying that are getting mistakes already while we're still young? Because we spoke about getting married at a young age. We spoke about getting into debt when we're still young. What are some of the other common things?
Some other common mistakes. Did I hear you well?
Yes, sir.
The other common mistake, man, is I think investing your energy and time to wrong things. I mean, yeah, it's one other challenge, because one thing about us is we are not ready to sacrifice, like I've said. I can say people are not willing to invest their time and energy on the things that are supposed to be like that are for them. You understand? For an example, we have got callings. You understand? Most of the youth have got callings, different callings. You understand? And then now, sometimes I feel like avoiding your calling is more like derailing from your purpose. You understand? So it's not easy, man, to excel on something that is not yours. You understand? We are now doing anything that we are just following anyone. We are just going the same direction. You understand? So I think now it's time. It's time that people wake up. People realize their goals. People realize their callings. You understand? You find people like those are things that you cannot avoid. They will always follow you, and then they will always affect the whatever that you be doing beside the real purpose that you should be doing. You understand? So most of the youth, men, I think it has derailed. I mean, it has derailed. You understand? Very, 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 like we have derailed. You understand? We are doing things like we want to be the same. We want to be the same. I mean, if Ali is doing this tomorrow, I want to be like Ali. If Frank is doing this tomorrow, I want to do what Frank is doing. And then you forget about your purpose. We are all born with gifts. We are all born with purposes. But then our purposes are not the same. They are very different. You understand? But then the problem is, I don't know. I can blame our role models. I don't know who to blame. But one thing is,
the environment. The environment is conducive, so that's why I see that it looks like Mr. Frankie wants to write a POI. Honorable Frank, what are you rising on?
No, okay, Shab, I just wanted to be with Sipho on that one. We cannot blame anyone, bro. Like that one, we cannot blame anyone. Take it to a point where people make mistakes, and then after they want to blame someone, like for the fact that, let's say maybe number one, you grew up in a family where there was no father figure, and then you want to make it a point that yeah, sharp. The reason why you are where you are and then not successful is because of when at home there was no one, there was no father who was helping you. It's nonsense, that thing. It's nonsense, bro. Like, let's not try to beat around the bush. It's nonsense. There are people that they're growing up in families where no parents at all, there is no mother, there is no father, but those people, they managed, they sat down, then they saw it feed, and you know what, in life I'm my own motivation, then I'm my own role model, because we are looking at people. Check around Mwabe, people that we are looking at. Some of those people, you don't know the businesses that they are doing, but they are hiding with certain things. Okay, sharp. Now, for instance, maybe mining or a business as shapes, but you don't know the secret things that they are doing underground. So, as we are saying, Sipo, Emana, as a man, be that brave enough to take steps that you know, or tomorrow I'm gonna be successful. Without do calculations. That's the only survival skill we have now. Mara, if we're going to beat around the bush and then try to blame someone, we are still going back, bruh. We are still going back.
Yeah, it's a challenge indeed. It's a
Yeah,
challenge.
we are still going
It's a
back.
quite challenge.
Yeah. So let's not try to blame someone.
The thing of blaming someone, I think there's no need for us to blame our parents or to blame anyone, to say that maybe if my mother could have, prioritized and went to school and she worked, At least today I could have went to a better varsity. My background would be no. There's no one to blame. We have to change the current situation that we are in and try to look around what can we use to change what we have. Now let's look at this one. One said that it's very, the current mistakes that most of the youth are doing today. It's focusing only on the academics life. For instance, let's say one maybe the marketing officer went to school to do marketing. This person will only focus on marketing. Whenever when there are opportunities on different shops, whether it's supermarkets, whether it's whatsoever company, the person will say, no, I am a marketing officer. I can only work with marketing. What causes this kind of a behavior? Whereby most people, they don't want to take other opportunities. They only want to focus on the course or the career that they only went to school for. What are some of the causes of this, Honorable Sipo?
Yeah, that one is very much interesting. Yeah, it's a challenge again. It's a challenge. I mean, I mean, in this system, this is not the older system. The world is changing now. It's changing to to a point whereby we should be adjusting. We need to be flexible. That's what I can say about this thing. Like, I cannot say why. I can say I cannot give a very good reason why people are just focusing on only on academics. But I can say that people must learn to be flexible because of the world. This world, man, is of no mercy today. The world of nowadays is of no mercy. You understand? Focusing on your academics is good, yes, but then now like you never know what's coming after that. You never know whatever you are preparing for on those academic if it will come, and you don't know with the same qualification that you'll get. You're not even sure if it will open doors. You understand? So actually, academics are good, but people, like I've said, people need to be creative. You understand? Sometimes I think that creativity beat these academics. You understand? Because if you can check around the world, people who are creative are doing much better than those who have got qualifications. People with higher qualifications today are suffering, but creative people are doing much better. You understand? So people will learn to be flexible. People will learn to adjust. This world is different. It's no longer the same. You understand? Opportunities are becoming scarce nowadays. So I will encourage people to become more creative. You understand? Like I've said, people must not derail from their purposes. You understand? If your purpose is doing something that is far away from academics, go for academics. Okay, go for academics, and then don't forget about your purpose. Something that you can do, and you know what I'm saying. So people need to be flexible and creative so that they can fit in all the areas of this life.
I agree with you there, my brother, because we do have a lot of people who have diplomas, who have masters, who have honors. Today, a person can find, let's say a person is a marketing officer, and the post of a marketing officer can pay something like 15,000 to 12,000. A person needs to be given an opportunity at the mine just to work as a general worker, will be getting something like plus minus 15, 20,000 then. The person will refuse the offer to say that by profession, I'm a marketing officer, I cannot take such opportunity, which is a problem, which is a big problem. Because according to a research which was done, is that most of the businesses which are successful today, most of those entrepreneurs who came with those ideas, most of them, they are not actually having the same qualifications to run those kinds of companies. People are running hotels, but they're engineers. People are running law firm, but they're not lawyers. People are running, a lot of things. People are running saloons, but they know nothing about saloons. Why? Creativity. It begins here. You implement it. You can open a hospital, but you're not a doctor. The only thing that you need capital. You need to have the right strategy on board. Then you can run it around. I think our people need to change their mind. They need to remove the whole club and stop being reminded and make sure that they explore. Sometimes, my brother, if you can lock yourself inside the house for the whole day, you might think that this is the end of the life. Take a bath and go outside and see what is happening. People have their own problems. But when they're there gallivanting with friends, you won't think they're going to have problems. Sit down with them, they'll tell their problems. But I think the solution that needs to be, implemented or copied. I think most of us, we need to be entrepreneurs. We need to be entrepreneurs, That is the only resolution that we can have as youth in order to resolve this problem. Sometimes I believe that being employed is a scam, especially someone who's less than 30 years old. Being employed is a scam. When you're less than 30 years old, your mind, you can think very quick. That's when you can look at any opportunity, take what you have, use it to start something. That's how it needs to go. Very quickly, I want us to go to do this one, Honorable Sipo. I don't know if maybe you have something to touch on motion 2 that we're having. Most of our peers, they are still thinking that there is enough time. Why? Why most of our
Come
youth,
again.
they still think that we still have enough time?
Okay. Come again, sir. Come again, sir. You said why is it what?
My question is that most of our peers, are hesitating. And one of the things that will actually fall within the motion that we're discussing tonight, that what are some of the mistakes that we actually do between the age of 23 and 30 and 35 that will actually affect us in the near future. I'm saying that thinking there is still time, it's one of the
Yes.
mistakes that we do. Now, I'm asking a question to you is that why most of our peers are they still thinking that they still have enough time? Someone at the age of 30 years will be saying, I still have enough time. 30 years without even any, having financial background or having any company, but they still believe that it's still too early. What is happening in the community?
Okay. Yeah. I can hear you. If I've gotten the question right now, the question is why are they thinking there is still time? Is it?
Correct.
Yes. No, that one is a problem. Yeah. The thinking there is still time is a challenge. I mean, because what am I gonna say on this one? Yeah. This one is tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
For
No,
those who think there is still
I could say,
time, then
yeah. I could edge you on that one. Because let me give you a guideline. Look, when people are still saying that there is still enough time, it's because most of those people are too indolent to be creative. Because if they're really creative, I don't believe one will still say there's still enough time. Sometimes when you have people behind you who are actually, assisting you financially, you won't see the problems that people are having. Go and start to be independent and see the problems that we're having. People are just hesitating because you find that someone is still staying at his mother or maybe at their parents' house. You won't see any problem. As long as they still buy food for you, as long as they still take care of you, you won't see those problems. Let them leave this world. That's when you'll see. And I could tell you, most of us, we spend lot of our time and giving our attention to wrong things which don't benefit us. Sometimes I used to say, it's not a matter of benefiting financially, but it's also a matter of benefiting intellectually. It's very much important that whoever you spend an hour or 30 minutes with benefit intellectually. Let me give you an example, a simple example. Let's say the community of Huawei, it opened a non-profit organization which is called Huawei Community Development. It's an example, a disclaimer. If that one is already existing, it's fine. I'm giving you an example. And we agreed that each and every household, each and every month, is going to contribute 200 rand. For a period of a year, we're going to take that money. We are going to start hotels within the region of Skukune. Those hotels are going to employ each person per house. You get my point? Now, from
yes.
there, it's like the community on itself is creating jobs, but we don't have such people. People, they just want money for themselves. People currently, they think for themselves. That's a problem. Now, very quickly, I want us also to digest this one. If you can look at your screen and see the last motion that we are making mistakes by not equipping ourselves with the skills to survive in the real world. Why most people, Brasipo, when they go to school, they decide to study, not skills, but people decide to study things that they know for sure that they cannot open a company where else they are alone. For instance, let's say you go start to become a safety officer. Can you open a safety officing company within the community to run door by door? knock into people's houses, help them to run their houses safely. No, you can't do that. Why people, they cannot equip themselves with relevant skills, which they can just, start, their own company after college or after university? What is happening?
No, you know that one. I think it's the amount of moral support that people need. Understand? Because sometimes
Yeah,
lacking of moral support, like encouragement. There's like I can say, encouragement or role models is one other challenge. You understand? Like if people growing into a small community like we are, where we come from, is one other challenge. You understand? We have got the lack of role models. We don't have role models here. Like becoming something great, you'll be the first something great. You understand? So at least if you become something today, yes, you are becoming the light of the future. Like I mean, the generation after you will look up, will see you as a role model. You understand? So that one also contribute on the lives of the generation behind us. Unfortunately, you understand? We might have
yeah,
maybe lacked motivational what you understand, encouragement and so forth, like role models from our families. Growing into a family whereby you are the first one to have matric, you are the first one to go to varsity, is one other challenge. You understand? But if you can check maybe in families whereby like the grandfather is a graduate, you find that even the last born, the grand what the grandchildren are graduates in
yeah.
future.
The
You understand?
grandchildren, the
So
graduates.
yes, so we do like those kind of things. Yeah, like everyone is unfortunately, everyone is willing to have that bright future, and then also like they want to equip themselves. But then this lacking moral support is one challenge. It's one other challenge whereby is a challenge at all. I mean, you can check from our schools. It's very, very simple for an 18-year-old to tell you that I'm dropping out. For what reason, they don't know, but then they'll drop out for real. And they're going to spend time here, you understand, at home, doing
Yeah,
nothing. You understand? But believe me, should we become great people, our generation is going to become great. You understand? We are the drivers of
yeah,
the generation that is coming behind us. You understand? It's like that,
yeah.
I think.
All right. Now, to wrap up the show, we're left with less than 3 minutes to wrap up the show. If Honorable Sipho Leshava is given an opportunity where I could say it's a hall where all the young people are being combined, you are on the podium, you are given an opportunity to advise the community, those who are between the age of 23 and 35, to advise them so that they can better themselves and avoid such mistake in the near future. Because most of us, we already done some of those mistakes and we're feeling the pinches now, and there's nothing that we can do. We are already in the pool of mistakes. Now, if you are given an opportunity to advise the youth between the 23 and 35, how they can better their situation, we're referring to people who are already in that situation. You are given the podium to advise them. What
Yes.
can you say to the house?
What I can tell you, what I can tell you guys is, yes, it's true. You can enjoy life, but then don't forget that anything that you do has got consequences. And then please, people must be willing to sacrifice at all cost. You understand? Sacrifice time, sacrifice your money, sacrifice everything. If surely you know that that sacrifice will yield good results. You understand? Sacrificing your time. I mean, sometimes you must, as we grow old, let's normalize to minimize a circle that does not contribute on our destinies. You understand? Let's try to minimize the circle that does not contribute on our destinies. You understand? Our destinies are very much important, very, very much great. But let's minimize anything that comes against. Should it be family? Should it be a friendship? No, let's cut off. As long as that thing is going to derail you, cut it off. You understand? And then let's be flexible and creative always in order to fit in this world.
Definitely, definitely, I agree with you, Honorable Sipo, on that one, because some of the mistake that I could say most of us are doing, we are are actually being pushed by peer pressure. And most of us, you find that we're coming from, I cannot say, we're coming from a background whereby we don't have someone who can motivate us. We are coming from a background whereby our parents are not financially stable. We are copying things from the next doors. We are copying things on the road, not knowing the consequences of what we're doing, which means it's very much important that we already done some of those mistakes, which means we need to raise an awareness about such things so that our little sisters and little brothers, they need to be aware of that. So we need to raise awareness so that they need to know that the moment when they get older, they should not, rush into marriage. They should not rush into getting debts. They should not rush into having what is called Mujolo allowance. Imagine at the age of 23, each and every month you're taking 2,000 rand, you're giving a lady. On what? For what reason? Come on, you don't even give your mom 500 rand. So those are some of the things that people are having problems with. So I think there need to be sort of a program whereby we guide them what needs to be done. But so to say, I see someone was asking that question on the private chat box saying that I want to understand this because Mena, I'm at the age of 25 and I'm giving my girlfriend an allowance of 1,500 rand, which is about 35% of my salary. Is that a mistake? Because I had Honorable Frank speaking about doing an investment. Does it mean I have to stop giving my girlfriend that 1.5 and give her 500 rand and take the 1,000 rand and put in investment? Because I feel like that was the mistake that I have been doing for a long time. Okay, that is open for discussion. What is your view, Honorable Sipo and Honorable Frank?
Let me jump in.
The view of did I hear right there? Because
let's allow Frank to go in.
Okay. Ali, Obana, that guy is not doing a mistake by giving his girlfriend whatever amount. Ne? If the nigga has that money, you see, like, don't make it a mistake. Ne? If he has that money, and then whenever he gives that lady the money, he still doesn't have any need or no cash up, or he feels like maybe he lost that money, then it's fine. It's not a mistake. Remember, our incomes, they are not the same. People, they are having streams of multi streams of income. So don't say, if now maybe I can give my girlfriend 5,000 a month, then it's like maybe I'm doing a mistake. No, because I have that money again. Then even after giving it to her, I don't feel like maybe I lost something, or I don't still have any need, or I need that money that I gave out. So it is not a mistake for him to do that one, unless if he feels like maybe it's sometimes as guys, we're doing a mistake by, like, we are afraid to tell girls, sorry, I don't have this and I don't have that, whenever they're demanding, because you have a fear or maybe about if or some of that 200 rand. So let's not do it that way, my friend. If you have that money, it's fine, give it to her. But if you don't have, I'm gonna tell her straight that I don't have that kind of money that you're looking for. Then you can use it for something else.
Quickly, Honorable Frank. Very quickly, Honorable Frank, before I go back, I return the mic to Honorable Sipo. What is your what is your submission, so to say, your conclusion as you're concluding the show, based on the motion in terms of you advising the people who are listening and viewing from different platforms, such as your YouTube, your Twitter, your Facebook? What is your submission? In other terms, your advice to them in less than a minute, so that we can go back to Honorable Sipo.
Okay, my conclusion to everyone is that, like, live a life that you're not having regrets, and then as long as you can afford whatever that you want to do it. If it makes you happy, do it. And then don't do things because of you saw a certain individual in the community doing them, because you don't know my income. So don't compete with me without knowing my income. And then the other thing is that, guys, there are a lot of opportunities out there right now. So, like, let's try to equip ourselves. Forget about Mujolo for a moment. Then do something that's gonna benefit you and your kids tomorrow. As I said earlier on, that we have easy educates, we have those forex, we have sporting bet, we have a lot of things that we can mention. So try by all means, or let's say maybe that 500 or 200 you were planning to drink, take it, buy it, take it the whole hoodie, then try to gamble. You never know how much you can make there. Take that 200, put it on easy adequate. Or the other one is that, guys, okay, me and my three colleagues now, we have this kind of stock fella where we are putting every month, we put in 2.5, where we don't share that money, or we don't make it a round stock fella where we give it to you, we give to Sipo this month, next month we give to you, next month we give. No, collectively we just put 2.5 every month. Then we are planning already this money, we invest with it every month. Whenever we put it there, we buy those shares on easy etiquettes. Then we put a long-term goal of 3 years. That after 3 years, that's when we're gonna share that money. And then after we've seen how much it made for us on those dividends on easy etiquettes. So guys, like, don't be stereotype. Forget about the Waspana. Try to outsource a lot of things. There are a lot of things out there that you can outsource. Then you can still make money there. That's my conclusion for you guys.
All right, Honorable Frank, thank you so much for your submission. We're going back to Honorable Leshava. Honorable Leshava, as you are still trying to conclude the show, I see now a lot of people are coming online and watching while the show is about to end. What is your submission?
Come again, Ali.
Oh, I was saying that what is your submission and also your analysis of what the last speaker said? The speaker that was speaking about girlfriend allowance and investment. What is your view on that?
Are we still on the same topic? Is it? Because somehow you are breaking and I'm feeling.
Okay, I hope you're able to hear me now. I was referring to the last speaker. That there's a person who sent a message to say that he have been giving a girlfriend 1.5 allowance. So my guy was saying that he feels like that is a mistake that he was making. So he's bringing this thing to the house to say we have to adjudicate whether it was a mistake or not.
Okay, yeah, sure. I like this saying, like I can say, people, if you are, if you are rich, like I can say somebody is rich. You can say somebody is rich when you are giving away an amount and then you don't feel anything. That man is rich. If somebody can give you a certain amount of money and then they don't feel anything, that man is rich. Then they can give any amount of money. It's okay. You understand? But should you give somebody a certain amount of money and still have something in you that is eating you? You understand? You are not rich. You are really not supposed to give that person that money. You understand? So yes, it's not always wrong to give somebody that allowance. You understand? There are people who can afford that. There are people who are giving even more. You understand? But that is from the amount that they have. You understand? Because the only problem is when you are giving this that amount in order to secure the person, like that's to make sure that the person does not leave you. Then it's a problem. You understand? It's a problem. It takes us back to a point which I've emphasized that getting into relationship sometimes becomes a hindrance of growth. You understand? Obviously, now you will not be able to save money. You'll not be able to invest money. But then you are giving money to sponsor someone whom even you're not even sure that that they are going to be with you in future. You understand? So, and then one other thing, should you fail to communicate to somebody that, baby, with this amount of money, how about I save this amount of money for this? And then no, they be like, no, baby, I deserve this money. Actually, should somebody feel like they deserve any amount of money from you, it becomes a problem there. You understand? Now I feel like people should give their people money that they can give and still not feel anything. That is good. Yeah.
I get that, my brother. Very well, I get that. But check what is on your screen and let's hear what's your analysis on this one. Is it true that education, it can prepare a person to survive without a certificate? Is it true?
Is it true that education can prepare you to survive without your?
Is it true that education can prepare a person to survive without a certificate? Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. It is true. I believe, yes.
Awesome. All right, my brother. I thank you so much for taking your time to come and join the show tonight. This is Go Youth Podcast. I acknowledge your present, Honorable Sipo Lishaba and Honorable Frank, for taking your time to come and join the show. I see that we have a lot of viewers also join the show live from YouTube, live from Facebook, live from Twitter, live from Instagram, joining us from different parts of the world. I also like to say thank you so much to our brothers and sisters who are also joining us live from Kenya. I also see my brother joining us all along here from Kenya. Thank you so much, my brother. And we also have our brother joining us also here from Botswana. Thank you so much, my brother. I know that every time in Go Get Podcast Go Live, you guys are always supporting us and joining us. Thank you so much for taking your time and coming and join the show. Very much important. It's Saturday. It's 8:17 p.m., the 26th of February, live in South Africa. Thank you so much. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Bye-bye.